Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Uakeisha, and this is
Tikisha. Did you used to believe in Santa Claus when you was a kid? I'm sorry, I just went right into it.
That's actually the first time in this, since we've been doing this, where you asked the question first.
Hi, we are friends of 30 years, and welcome to our girl chat.
Yeah, you literally, that's the first time you ever did that. But no, my mother and father, well, let's just say this is the day after Christmas. A lot of people celebrate the holiday yesterday. So I guess you just thought about that. My mother and father, as the pastor, we didn't believe in anything other than God. I think I had the imagination of a child, when I was really young, like between 5, 6, 7, 8, where I probably wanted to believe, but my parents never did the Santa Claus thing. Never.
But y'all got presents though.
We got presents, but we knew that it was my parents that, because we made a list and gave it to them. I remember we used to sit in front of the TV on Saturday mornings, when it was cartoon Saturday mornings, and especially around Christmas time, we would write like things that we saw on TV that we wanted and would give it to them. And this one particular Christmas, I was adamant about finding the gifts. Like I wanted to find, the gifts. And I found them. And my mother was standing there when I found it. She was so mad at me, she took them back. She got me something else, but it was like, you found what I gave you and you wasn't supposed to do that. So, but no, we never believed in Santa Claus. I never felt like I was missing out on anything because I didn't. But when we never even went trick-or-treating or anything like that. We just...
Yeah, I've never been trick-or-treating.
Yeah, well, and this is what I say because I don't have any thoughts one way or another when it comes to kids believing in Santa Claus. I don't care if they do, if they don't, because I've experienced both. When I got married, my husband at the time was really big on the kids believing in Santa Claus and Halloween and things like that. So that's one of the things that when you get married, I was just like, okay, no big deal. We did the Santa Claus thing with them, and they believe, we got up at 3 a.m, putting the gifts out like Santa Claus had came, putting little footprints in they was happy, and I don't know if it was going to make a difference one way or the other. It was just something fun to do. But once they stopped, it was like, he ain't really real. It was like a joke, like, yeah, he not, and but people take it serious. They get mad if you tell their kids that Santa Claus not real, but I never believed. No. Did y'all?
Logically, I couldn't believe it. Didn't make sense.
Well, you always been that.
Yeah.
So you was like, how he going to every house all
exactly.
over? Yeah.
It didn't make sense. But my mother was firm, like trying to go with the Santa Claus story, because for her it was just I think it was the excitement of it and seeing us surprised, but it never made sense to me.
It never made, and
then, but my sister, she believed in Santa Claus for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't tell her there was no Santa Claus?
Yeah, but to this day she doesn't listen to anything I say, so that still stands.
Well, what's funny though to me, well, not funny, haha, but like my kids believe, but my sister is big on her kids not believing in Santa Claus. So, it was never like well, my kids believe, don't tell them. It just was never even a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents I know are like, why am I going to give this man the credit of what I did? But like I said, I don't care one way or the other. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, I remember one of the jobs I worked at, she was just like, well, if you don't believe, you don't receive, because we had one of those conversations. This was years ago when Jordan was young, because I didn't raise him to believe in Santa Claus. And I think it just came from, I didn't want my son to be stupid.
I get that.
That sounds so harsh saying it, but to me, it was just like, using my own brain,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense logically. So
Yeah.
why would I teach my son something that didn't make sense to me? So
wasn't-
so when I say that, that's what I say. And I have to, forget, because I know that those words that I use at home are probably not appropriate for worldwide TV.
I don't even think there was a logic thing with us. It just wasn't even a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like you ain't gonna believe in Santa. It was never. I looked at Santa Claus when I was a young girl, to me, as like in the story, because I love to read in the storybooks. He was a character in the stories. He was never like something that was real to me ever, because it wasn't like you where it's like that don't make sense. It was just just a character, and that was all I saw him as. So until I got married, he became a fixture around the holidays. But yeah, I don't have that. Even like the Tooth Fairy, we would. Now that was something my mother did do. We would when we lose our teeth, she did put it under the pillow. But I was like, my mama give me this money. I know it. I just wanted to catch her doing it, and I never could. It was like, how did she do it without me waking up? How did she get it? And she'd be like, the Tooth Fairy gonna leave you some money. But she never even said it, even, with meaning. It was just like, put your tooth under the pillow.
I forgot about the Tooth Fairy.
Mm-hmm. Girl, yeah, we never went trick or treating, and kids who don't do that, when it's something you don't do, it's not something you miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you like care about. So, I think it's fun.
I don't know, because I think I missed all of that. I feel like parts of my childhood was stolen because I didn't experience those things. So I'm usually the exception to most rules. So, and it's funny that you said that, because I was thinking today, like, I heard something like, you don't miss what you never had. And I was just like, oh, that's a lie, because I missed several things that I've never had.
So let me correct that,
but that's just me.
But that's just,
what I'm saying. But most people
are
like, you don't miss what you don't have. But I'm like, I do. Like, I grieve that. I wanted that for me.
So as far as childhood, were you a child that played with dolls and Barbies and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
You did play with, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I told you, you seem like you've been mature a long time.
Yeah, I had dolls and stuff.
Just saying, like, I'm trying to imagine you playing with a doll. I can't. I know you could imagine me playing with a doll.
Yes.
But I can't imagine.
And it's funny, because looking back, I'm like trying to imagine me actually playing with it versus just having it.
Girl.
Because I'm a collector, which is still who I am today, where it's like I see all of this stuff shiny, cute, and I want it, and it just sits there.
But did you actually play with them?
But I'm thinking about that, because I can still picture my room with the Barbie dream house, her Corvettes, because everything that came out, my mom worked at Kmart. She made sure that we had that stuff. But I remember the dolls, but I don't ever remember like talking, playing pretend. But I remember my sister playing pretend, you know what I'm saying, with the dolls and whole characters and all that. So I probably was a fraud and just had that stuff in my room.
We like literally created families with our Barbies and dolls. Like that was, and probably too, I know a lot of girls probably played hard with dolls, but I believe that we played so tough with our dolls because that was really the only thing that we really could do with the lifestyle that we had as pastors' daughters. So the doll thing was so innocent. That's why I said my imagination, I imagined that, Santa Claus probably is not real, but he's a character of my imagination. And the Barbie dolls, we played Barbies for a long time. We probably were almost teenagers before we put the Barbies down.
Wow.
Yeah. And we played Barbies like everywhere we went. We had two neighbors that lived on our street, and we all would have Barbie cars, and we would take turns going over each other's house playing with our Barbies. And yeah, that was the one thing that we played Barbie dolls for a long time. And then when we could not, because my mother would let us take our dolls to church. This is gonna be so funny. This is how strong our imagination was. And we would find things in the church to make baby dolls out of. So if you wore like a cardigan sweater over your Sunday dress, we would take the sweater off and make it like a baby. Even in Bible class, I remember being really little and finding just, you know, you just find string, you know, we would find it and act like it was a person. We played, yeah, our imagination when it came to dolls and playing with stuff like that was just very vivid because we didn't do like a lot of other stuff the kids did. We didn't, but we definitely played with the baby dolls and the Barbie dolls. And we got a doll every Christmas. Every Christmas, we definitely got a baby doll or a Barbie doll. I wish I had kept all the Barbie dolls that we had because we probably had every Barbie doll you could think of. But you were collecting them and not playing with them.
Yeah, I think so. Because I don't recall.
You didn't give them names or anything like that?
I might have, but I don't
See,
remember.
yeah, I don't think you probably did though, if you don't remember, because people who really played with them
would be like my sister. Like she would be able to go into detail of the conversation.
We would.
Where all I do is remember that's the dream house in my room. I probably was just like, one day I'm gonna have a house like this. That's probably what the stuff represented. It represented my future life.
Yeah.
Not right there.
It's not,
oh no, that's wild.
It's we played with the baby dolls and Barbie dolls, and yeah, but Christmas looks different for everybody. You know, we were talking about that on the way here. It just looks very, very different. For me, I think it looks different from year to year now, whereas yours probably looks similar for the last, couple of years or so. I don't know, but mine just looks very, very different to me. And the meeting, like I feel like
no, mine looks different.
It looks different year to year.
There's a constant in it, but it still looks different. I think the saddest part is the constant is starting to get heavier. So I'm starting to get more to where I despise this time of year from that constant. But year to year, it's been different. It's been different because I remember from when it was 2013, I believe, when I stopped celebrating Christmas like officially and didn't buy Jordan any gifts or didn't do any of that. But my mom still, was big on Christmas. So we would still get together. And then it got to where I think I was still buying some little gifts because she was making me feel bad about it. But then once she passed, I stepped back into it because I wanted to kind of, in my mind, which now I realize that's what I was doing. It was almost like I was trying to fill her shoes for my nieces.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But now I ain't trying to fill nobody's shoes.
Yeah.
So it's just what it is. And your
nieces probably would have been okay either way. Especially the youngest one.
Well, then, yeah. Now because she was little then, but I think, was she like 2 or something when my mom first passed? So to her she didn't even really know what was what like she does now. But when it first was the shift with my oldest one being, prime time still getting Christmas, that would have been heartbreaking. Yeah. So I still did a little something, but then I shifted where this year I didn't even get to buy cards. Like, cause I was at least doing some cards, cause it's not like I hate Christmas. But it was just, I just stepped from a lot of traditional holidays in general, was just where I'm at. But I don't know. You're right. It looks different for everybody. It looks different for me each year. And then I just pay attention to like the surroundings of it and just families and just how, like, I know it's never gonna be like it was in the 80s because the tree, the gifts would be flowing.
Yeah. This is the first year my tree wasn't flowing, but it was actually, I had to realize that when I first became a single mom, when I first got divorced, I wanted to keep up what my kids were used to. And I did that. And then after a while, it was just like, are they even learning what this really like is about? Like, I don't want to just be going through the motions and these kids grow up and they don't understand, even if it's not his real birthday, that we just celebrating that he was born. Like, I want them to just, have so yesterday I bought them a few things. This probably was the least amount of things they got ever for Christmas. They were grateful, but before I gave them anything, we talked about, like, what the real meaning of it was. Like, I was just asking them questions like, do you know what this, or do you know? And they was honest, like, no, I don't understand this, or tell me. And I was even telling them, like a lot of people, say it's a pagan holiday. And I said, what, again, just like what representation for me in all things that other people may seem as demonic or pagan. I said the star at the top of the Christmas tree to me represents the star when the wise men were following, looking for how to find him. And they were like, oh, I said the lights to me represent he's the light of the world. And they like, oh. And I said the gifts is because they brought gifts because he was born, representing. And I said, so I'm giving you these gifts in representation of, and I had never done that with them. So I believe every Christmas now is going to be like that for me. If it's something that I have not taught them throughout the year, it's going to be like, let me share with you, something about the story so you'll know, why this is important, why we do it. And if I choose not to do that, at least, because I was wondering, are they going to be disappointed that they don't have all of the things this time? And I could have got all of the things. We blessed, but I can get you all the things in March or whenever. That's not what's important to me. So, and they were not disappointed. It was just like, we laughed and talked and enjoyed our time. And then they went on about their day. And I was just, fine for a while. But like I said, it does start to be a little different because this is actually the first Christmas where I absolutely was intentional about just being by myself. Like, I just wanted to, um, be in, just, consecration of what it meant for me that day. And I think I told you on the way here, like, there was a moment where I started to feel like, is this a lonely feeling I'm feeling? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a time where people are with their families or with friends, but something I listened to this morning made me feel better about how I was feeling yesterday, was because this has been a year of purification for me, of separation from things that's not for me anyway, then in preparation for what is for me. So part of what I was feeling yesterday, and part of what you probably been feeling for the last 11 years, even though, because God don't have no time, even it feel like a long time for us, but he don't have a long time for the things that we feel. So it made me feel better because it was like he's just preparing you, even though our earthly feeling is like, dang, I don't like this feeling. He preparing us for what is to come. Like, you keep on doing what you're doing. And, even though it feel like I'm taking a long time to you, I don't see time. It's preparation and purification for, and that's what this whole year has been for me. Like, separated from people that I thought was friends, separating from people that I thought was family, separating from people that I was in relationships or situationships with. And when you isolate yourself like that, and the fleshly part of you does start to feel like, man, this is a time where I really wish I had family. Mm-hmm. And I got a family and you got a family, but we wasn't with our families. It was like, I don't like this feeling. But I was reminded this morning of, this is your time to, really, really, and probably because you've been doing it way longer than me. Way longer. So you're probably getting to a point where like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, like I'm over it where it's just like, okay, I need to accept this because I am queen of isolation, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have been isolated for years, but it always hits me this time of year
Yeah.
where it's just like, oh, okay, because this is the time of year where the whole world, like even if it doesn't look like how it used to back in the day, you still have a little inkling of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was with my immediate family, but when I say family, I'm 48. I'm looking forward to the family that I've created.
Yeah.
And I don't have that. I have
Mm-hmm.
a son who's off doing his own thing, ain't thinking about his mama. So I'm like, I am literally like, I'm my family. And I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And that's just my truth.
It is. It's the truth.
So it's just like I'm praying to come to terms with, like, again, you 48. So clearly this is your life. The thing that you've been yearning for, family, your whole life, you don't have it yet. You might want to come to terms with that you don't have that.
I don't think you have to come to terms with that.
I think that that's in my best interest because...
So instead of having the expectation?
Yes. Okay. Or feeling sad and depressed about something. Like it's not healthy for me to be in a space of expectancy all the time when that may not come, because sometimes the things we desire we don't get.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
And I don't want to be in a place where I'm making myself sad and depressed.
Yeah.
When it's just like that just may not be for you. And that's okay, because I mean I got a plethora of relatives. And I don't want to feel like I'm coming for my loved ones, but I mean, we talk about, like, the parents, they raise up a child, then you leave and you start your own life. Like when I look at my parents, they moved to a whole different state and started their lives. I'm still here up under my daddy's umbrella. You know what I'm saying? I'm still the little girl. Like I still got a gift from my daddy yesterday. I'm ready to be grown. I'm ready to be grown.
That don't mean you ain't grown because you still get a gift from him.
Oh no, because I'm probably gonna get a gift until I die.
That's right.
Or him.
Come on, baby.
Like, so it's not that, but it's just like my daddy's been the only man in my life my whole entire life. And my mom, like, with her not being here, so it's just like it's just us. And I have a lot of love inside of me and I want to share it. Yeah. That's just the bottom line.
That's real.
That's me being real.
That's me. That's very real. That's very real. I feel the same way, but I guess the difference is I haven't been as isolated as long. So I'm learning to
okay, I ain't gonna say that. Go ahead.
You gotta say it now.
It's inappropriate for the podcast.
Gotta say it off camera.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been my isolation hasn't been that long. So I actually have to learn how to be what you've been. You know what I'm saying? I literally have had to learn how to be the single whole woman by myself with nobody around and enjoy learning how to love this part of my life. And so as much as it was a moment of sadness, I think I had more moments of gratefulness that I have the opportunity to do this, because when it gets to the point where if he does bless me like I believe he's going to bless us, whoever it is going to be like, hey, you had a lot of love to give. Like that. You know what I'm saying? But if it does not happen, then I have to learn how to be okay with that at the same time. So yesterday was like a reminder of my children are going to grow up and be completely doing their thing. They may have families where they're, doing their thing, and I may not be a part of that. So how do you handle your isolation? And as much as I'm sure, I was talking to a young man this week. He's 28, and he was just looking kind of sad when I saw him. And I said, I almost said the same. I said, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And he said, I don't know. I guess I just, I really, really want a companion." He was like, he's a man of God. He desires to be married. And he was like, "I just really want a companion." And I said, "You think it's this time of year make you feel like this?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "I think it's going on across the board with a lot of people at different ages and stages is what that showed me."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "I'm just, I just really, I meet people, but it's just never." And I said, "I get it. I get it. I understand. You feel the way you feel." So once we talked and I made him laugh, he felt better. I'm good at cracking a joke. to break that monotony of feeling, I don't like this, but it's the reality of what a lot of people feel. So friend, I I understand you saying I don't want to have that expectation. I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. However, I believe that he has something for you. And I just know it's going to happen. And probably you relieving that expectation is when it's going to happen, because it's like, I ain't expecting it.
People say that to me, and I'd be like, I didn't expect it my whole life, and it didn't happen. And then I expected it, and it didn't happen. And now I'm not expecting it again, and it still ain't happening. So,
really, did you have to give it the fingers?
You're
so dramatic. You're like, but hey, but that's real though. You showing your real flat out feelings. You're like, yeah, I get it. You are. It's like, and especially when you had a taste of what you think it could be with the wrong people.
Oh, and then when we talk about imagination, my imagination is so vivid and so so not even the little taste, because I don't remember that. I know it opened up some, but I don't remember that. Like that's dead in the coffin, buried 20 feet under. But my imagination is just so like, oh, this could really be just great. But then I have to remind myself, girl, that's your imagination. Mm-hmm. And in real life, it's just you looking like Cinderella.
You got a lot of sharp shoes in your closet.
Right. That's funny.
I'm just saying. You got a lot of sharp shoes that he gonna bring to you. Like, did you leave your shoes?
I was thinking more of the cleaning part.
Oh. You see, I was like, girl,
I was just thinking of the I hate my life with the animals. Like, that's the part I was thinking of.
Oh God, yes. Hey, well, I'm just, at least you get laughing out of this. But hey. I get it, friend. I get it. I understand. I understand completely. Probably understand even more because I've had that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I've had that, and the one thing that I can say is, I haven't experienced it with the right that though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking forward to. I've had it, but I always was tired at the end of a holiday. It was like, you just
like ready for the relief to sit down.
Yeah, you ready to just kind of just relax, which is yesterday what God allowed me to was like just rest, because you've done the hustle and bustle of that. Now this is your time to be with me and learn about yourself and everything. So I've done that, and I'm looking forward to doing it the right way. So, but if it does not happen, I will have to learn how to be okay. In the moment I feel right now, I'm okay with that.
It hits me like the ebbs and flows, like it's a wave. Like yesterday I was like, whatever. Today I'm probably still like whatever, you
Yeah.
know, but who knows what tomorrow is going to be or later on this evening. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I go through it. But again, like I said, it's just normally this time it
This
hits
time of
me
year, yeah.
when I'm just like, I literally can admit to myself and out loud, like, okay, I'm lonely. Because for the first part, I don't get lonely because it's so many things that I enjoy that I can do, that I can occupy my time by myself.
I was about to say, you enjoy your own company.
Yes, like I be having so much fun with me.
I would say, like, you definitely enjoy your own company. Yes.
Yes. But it's just like on these little moments, I be like, girl, like, no, I don't want to color. I don't want to watch a movie. I don't want to write. I don't want to read. I don't want to do anything. I want to talk to a man. That's what I want to do.
And me, I'm like, I want to read. I'm like, let me read the book and let me go.
Yeah. Then I got on TikTok and I was telling my sister, I was just like, I don't know what happened to my TikTok because now it's just like recipes. Excuse me?
You are not cooking. What?
Excuse me?
Is it?
Then it was something else that I got on there and I told her, I said, I don't know if it's the reset button, but I want to reset because I don't know who hijacked it. So then I was just like, I can't even get on here for my little thrills because I don't know whose
funny.
TikTok this belongs
That's
to.
so funny.
It's
That's
just
so
like,
funny.
so I had to throw that away too. So it was just all me.
Well, I'm going to shift a little bit because this is our very last episode of this year.
Yes, it is.
And I can't believe this whole year went by this fast. Like, and we've done this for a whole year. Like, consistently. That just shows people that when you are, I use this word a lot, intentional about doing something, and it becomes just part of who you are and what you love, you can achieve whatever. Because in the beginning, we still, like we said, we never have a plan, but like literally we come together and just sit and talk, and it's helped and healed a lot inside of me. So I just want to thank you for, because you definitely could have said no. When I said to you, hey, what do you think about doing a podcast?
Well, I wasn't going to say no because I had already foreseen it. So
I didn't know that at the time, though, that you had foreseen that. I didn't even know that you had like written it down or anything. So when I said it, it just shows the alignment that God like put things into place. But you definitely was just like, okay, and
here we are.
Here we are. So yeah, I want to thank you because, and I think I was always nervous about speaking out in publicly, like to the world, about different things and topics. But one thing that God showed me is when you have a testimony, or when you have an anointing over your life, and it's things that you have to share with the world, no matter what way it is, you got to do it. Message to you. That you can't just you can't be scared to do that, no matter what people say.
You know what I have told myself, fear is excitement. Because whenever you're nervous, because it's normal to be nervous and to have fear about something, even if you do it 100,000 times. Like sometimes if you're doing it for the 100,000th one time in front of a new thing. But I just told myself, like, all that is just excitement. It's just a reversal of the emotion.
I don't ever feel like nervous. I don't. In the beginning, I did when we used to get ready to record. I would probably be a little nervous, but now I'm never nervous. I don't even be thinking about, we're about to record, gotta get ready. I just literally get dressed. We get together. We just sit down. And that's when I feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I never get nervous either. I just worry about my mood because I know when I'm going through something, it comes with me.
It does.
And that's part of who I am. So this podcast helped me to just accept that versus me coming and not being in my, oh yeah, hell yeah, yesterday I was messed up. I was lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where my future husband at? Come on. But you know, so doing this, I feel like I try to live authentically me all the time. And that grows and changes because I'm constantly trying to become a better person. But I will say that was the one thing where I was just like, I know it'd be days where I just be like, ugh.
And you know what?
But I still come on here and I still be like, ugh, and I
do.
share it, and I'm okay with that because we get where we want. And I don't want to say it's like a front, like we're trying to be somebody else, but we sometimes want to hide that dark side of who we are.
Yeah.
And I never want to do that. So even when I come on here and I'm feeling down and out and I'm struggling, I still come on here and show up, not just for you, but for myself.
Yeah.
Because this is a part of something I committed to, I'm disciplined to it, and then I want people to watch it to know you can be going through stuff in life and it is okay. We don't always have to put on a face.
Yes.
Because sometimes somebody needs to see that broken up face to know that you ain't alone. Because sometimes you just want, how they say misery won't company. I don't even necessarily know if it's misery or if it's just to know, like, girl, what you feeling is real.
Yeah.
Because I don't want nobody else to be miserable, but sometimes I want to be like, is this real? Is it just me? Does anybody else feel like this? And how do you get through it?
Yeah.
So I feel like coming on here is how we share how we get through it.
I will say this because, like we always say, I've been knowing you 30 years, but your personality and when you're going through things and you can feel it, I have been amazed by not one time have you said, I'm not doing it today. Because I know that's something that when you feel like I don't want to do it, I don't want to go, you will be like, I ain't doing it. And whoever's in your life that know you just will understand. But there has never been a week where you said, I'm not doing it. I think you know me. If I'm having a bad day, I'm still gonna do it. But you come and you push through, and we done pushed through some weeks. They don't even know how many weeks you done pushed through.
Yes, because today is a push through.
Yeah, and I could feel that energy when you got to the car. I was like, it's a rough one. It's a rough one. It's a day she not feeling the best.
Let me tell y'all something, y'all. Yesterday, my niece had an appointment today, the middle one. So my sister asked if the youngest could come over, and I said, yeah. I said, well, we're doing a podcast tomorrow. I was just like, so I don't know, because I don't know how timing is going to be, whatever. And I was just like, I just don't even want to do it, but you know, I'm going to do it. So me and the youngest started talking about, well, what you going to wear? And I said, I'm probably going to wear this. And she said, you going to wash it? I said, no, I'm probably just going to get up and slip this on and go and record. And y'all know what I did today? I got up, I took my shower, and I slipped this back off. And here I am in my truth recording it because I just was like, I knew that the weight was on me so heavy that it wasn't just going to disappear today because we was coming to record.
Yeah.
I knew that this would be good for my spirit because it allows me to release.
Release it, yeah. Release it. That's literally what we do. You come and release it and prayerfully feel a little bit better when it's over because you have been authentically free to do what you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And me trying to be a decent friend, just let you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people say you can feed off people's energies and stuff like that. We feed off energies, but not in a bad, each other's energy, but not in a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can sense that, okay, she's not having a great day. You can sense when I ain't having a great day, just whatever. But we don't let it affect this. We just come and be authentically who we need to be and do what we need to do.
And the one thing that I can say about us too, and let me know if you agree, because I feel like even when I do, like I try not to let it affect like even bigger than just us sitting here recording, because I know it's my thing. Because sometimes people project.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They be in the bad place, and then everybody they encounter, they put in a bad mood. Because it just, you know how you go somewhere and somebody wait on you, and it's just like, did you having a bad day today? Like maybe you should have stayed home from work. Like, do you got some PTO time? Like, I don't know. Like, I try to be like, I just want to leave that at the door, even while I'm still dealing with whatever it is that I'm dealing with.
Yeah. No, definitely don't project. You don't do that. No, we don't do that. But I'm glad that this year has been where whatever we was feeling, we said it.
Yeah.
We said it, and I don't know what this next year is going to bring. I mean, I'm believing it's going to be even taken to another level of authenticity, another level of learning, Hilly, because we've always said there's levels to this. I don't believe he's going to keep us in the same place or space that he has us right now.
I agree.
I believe it's going to be, and I hate to use the word bigger because I don't want to seem like, oh, we about to be in a studio. No, our bigger may not be the same bigger than what y'all think is bigger.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Our biggers be on the inside of us like, oh, I feel even bigger than what, it may not. A lot of people think physically they got to see their blessing.
Mm-hmm.
They think their blessing is material, a material blessing or financial. And don't get me wrong, that's all blessings. But the bigger blessing for us is like, ooh, on the inside. Like
on the inside, knowing that all of these emotions that I have that are disrupting my peace, my bigger is not having those or learning how to manage those, because still human, I'm wrestling with the flesh, so it's going to happen. But my bigger is just like, oh girl, that was so good.
My bigger is, even I was explaining to someone the other day about how when I released and became the authentic person that I try to be now, is when I learned about forgiveness and how the weight flew off of me when I did, and I haven't felt that weight on me since. So the inside of me is going to feel even lighter in this upcoming year, because I'm learning to release even more things as we come together, as we study, research, read, pray, talk to God. Girl, the other day, my son was in the basement. I was in the kitchen, and I heard him talking. I thought he was on the phone. And he came right up the stairs. I was like, I said, I thought you was on the phone. Who did you talk to? He said, oh, I was praying, and kept on walking past me. And I was like, you know what? That is the biggest thing for me now. And it's coming to pass. It's teaching my children what I feel like they really need to know at this time, that things I wish I knew at 17, 16, 18. Like the picture I sent you today, and he sent me the picture of that number. And then after, I didn't see what he said after. He said, I see this everywhere. And I said, when you see it, just thank God in that moment. I said, don't, just be like, oh, there you go. I said, you stop and you give thanks in that moment for seeing it, for wherever you're feeling. What, I'm giving that's my inside good feeling, that I'm like, let me give you these lessons now. So the legacy we leave, you always can remember that. That's what the blessings is for me. Not that my house gonna be bigger, because I know it will one day, but those things that make me feel good on the inside. Like he was like, "Oh, I was praying," and he just kept on going like it wasn't nothing, and I was like, "Thank you, God."
Oh, that's sweet. I know that
But he
warms
was,
your heart.
because he was just talking, and I was like, it didn't sound like a regular conversation. I was like, I thought you was on the phone. He was like, no, I was praying, and kept going. I'm like, yeah, thank you. So we getting there, friend. We getting there. Everything that what the church say, he don't come when you want him, but he come on time.
Yeah.
That ain't no scripture though, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it's a scripture.
I don't recall reading that.
I don't recall reading it yet either. I'm gonna have to Google and see. Like I know that ain't in. I don't think that's ain't not in the Bible. It's a nice term, but he may not come when you want him, but he always come on time. I don't think it's in the scripture. So
yeah, I don't either. It might be a personal translation or something, but I don't recall that. I don't know.
So he coming, friend. He coming. Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I don't even know how to say this. I don't know. I know God always working in my favor, but I also know that
regular stuff
that right, that life happens and sometimes you don't get what you want. So I know that 828, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, because I love the Lord that is always working out in my favor. I believe that, but I also believe that sometimes with that comes disappointment because, when I think of God, I think of him as like literally my heavenly father. And sometimes with parents, you don't give your kids what they want all the time.
You right. You right.
And I remind myself of that, like just because you want it does not mean that you need it or are going to have it. Like your father sees something that you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. He may be protecting you for something, or he just may say
no.
Yeah.
Because I know, and I struggle with this part of me because I wonder if now that I'm stepping into my purpose, is my purpose going to shift? And not because God is switching my gift up, but am I going to shift from him because it's now you making this your God?
Girl, that's what I was listening to this morning. It's like you do have to.
So
share yourself, and right now he gets all your time.
Yeah,
he literally gets all your
time.
And to have to divide that with,
because even when everything that I'm doing, even when I'm watching a movie, I'm trying to look for symbolisms or something where I'm interpreting that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. So if that happens, I don't know. I don't know.
I think I told you, I was like, girl, yeah, because he gets all your time and he wants all your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter what your fleshly whatever feel.
Yeah.
He could be saying no.
So he could be saying no. He could be like, oh, okay, why you sad on Christmas Day, sis? In observance of Jesus' birth, I'm going to need you to get in here and thank the good Lord that somebody came to save your sins. But instead, you in here watching these love stories, talking about where your man at, your father up here. Like, you going to forget about me on Christmas? Come on now.
Dang, friend.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. That's why I could never believe in Santa Claus, because I'd be having these kind of dang conversations in my head.
I literally was listening at this morning, and the man, the one I be listening to, was saying, and I was like, so ironic that message was this morning, like right after Christmas, was talking about single people who you might be isolated for a reason. and he was saying that, you know, when you single, like, you, God get your time. You can make the decisions to do what you need to do for yourself. And he did talk about the earthly stuff, like your money is yours, your, you know, you don't have to argue and bicker about these things. You know, you can get clear direction from God on things, and you don't have to say, well, God told me this, and they be like, well, he didn't tell me, and all, you know. He literally was saying, sometimes you are in this moment for that exact reason, because when you are single, he is your man.
Yeah.
He's the one that you know. And I was listening to that like, dang. And now that you saying that, and I know how you commune with him, like literally all day, like, you know, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like I have finally switched the hierarchy in my life, because for so long I love my son dearly, but I even had him, I feel like, at a point where he might have been higher on the pedestal than God. So now it's like literally I got my hierarchy. So I was just like, if this does come, how are you going
to balance it?
Yeah. Are you going to be so where, you know, now you just throw it and that's that becomes your idol?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I got on that. I don't know. We're coming to a close already. Are
you serious? I had so much more to say on that.
Girl, what you got to say? We got time.
I'm just like, because that's just so, and it's something that you have to think about, like, you almost can't be sad about that, even though your flesh want to be sad, because, but if he know that right now, maybe there is not anybody that can understand where you and I are spiritually in him, that he's like, I love the time y'all give me. I love the time you give me. And I love how you think about me in every single thing, that I want to share that with anybody.
Yes. Because I even was thinking like how, because, you know, for the most part, the whole year I have honored Sabbath. And then I'm just like, so that is, you know, Friday evening into Saturday evening. So then I started doing the sister circle. And then I was thinking about, you know, being up there all day. And I was just like, here you are shifting for that. Yeah. So I was just like, no, you can't do that. If you want to sit in the office all day, it needs to be on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Because here you are shifting. Because even though I am, you know, it's a godly mission, I'm still taken away from my commitment to him. Yeah.
And a lot of folks who are, that's why it's so important to be the word equally yoked with someone, because I was thinking about this when I was listening to it. I was like, the way I talk to God just randomly, somebody will probably be looking like, what is you doing? Like, girl. But you need somebody who just understands, and they're gonna just be quiet and understand what's taking place, what's going on, and every little thing that we do. Like I told you, now I don't even be screenshot stuff and send it to you all the time, because I just be like, this is just part of my life now. Mm-hmm. If someone does that, they would literally think we're crazy, because it's not just a church girl thing now, where you just go to church and you know, and you bless your food and whatever. Them the norms. But how the communion is now, it's like, if you don't have somebody that literally, and I'm not talking about somebody who just respect what you do, or respect what I do, or respect who we are in him, you really got to be that person too. And if you're not that person, oh, you just showed me.
Because if I'm sitting here and I'm literally watching The Flintstones. Because that's what I'm on now. I started the Flintstones from season 1.
Oh, you say, yes, that's so funny.
So if I'm literally watching this and I'm turning this cartoon from, I think, the 60s, 50s, whatever, into a spiritual message.
I saw what you said about, what's his name?
Oh, Frederick. Okay.
And was it Wilma, his wife?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw what
Wilma
you said about
is
that.
very submissive.
Yeah.
She caters to that man, okay? And she understands his flaws and they don't bother her. She's accepted him for who he is while I'm looking at him like, girl, get you a new man. He's a gambler. Like, they coming, you can't even watch TV tonight because he ain't paid the bill and they coming to repo the TV. So it's just like, I'm learning things from everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I even act, and this be the thing, I be like, when I'm about to watch something, I be asking God to let me leave this with a message. I'm just not frivolously putting on something on TV because everybody say that that's good and watch it.
Yeah.
So if my partner is like, this girl is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the Flintstones.
Yeah. And we watched that as kids, not even knowing, little kids.
Yeah.
Talking about playing with Barbies. We was watching them at that age and getting that in our mind, which is probably why we accepted narcissistic relationships that we did, because a lot of stuff seemed normal.
Let me say this before we close out too. Yesterday when I was with my dad, we were talking about like what happened so much that times have changed. And he was just like, because he was saying how he grew up where they wasn't locking the doors and the kids was just outside playing and doing that. But he said, when we watch TV, the bad guy always got caught. He said the bad guy always got caught. So it was almost like now, we glorify a lot of negative type things.
Oh, yes.
But he was just like, growing up, that wasn't glorified. You knew if you did something bad, you were going to get in trouble. But that's just like us being little kids and another parent could tell your kid what to do. Whereas now you ain't telling my kid
You ain't
nothing.
telling my kid nothing. Yeah.
And I'm one of them mamas. Like, you ain't telling my kids something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the times have most definitely changed a lot, and all of these external influences impact us. So I want to say I do admire you for having that conversation, with your kids about Christmas and how the different symbolisms, what it means to you.
Yeah.
Because you're their mom.
Yeah.
So it's going, you know what I'm saying? That's going to impact them. And even if their views change, you know what I'm saying? You're establishing those core things where a lot of things I feel like I just learned from living.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I admire that and I commend that. Yes, I clap.
I'm going to close on this, hopefully, because we still talking.
We still talking.
A lot of, I find a lot of, and we talked about this over this year, judgment with people and what they beliefs and things and what they do. I don't want to take the joy out of holiday seasons for my children or anybody around me. So rather than saying it's wrong, y'all celebrating this and it's pagan, I'm going to take the symbolisms for me and explain to them, this is what it means for me as relates to God and this holiday. I'm not going to say it's wrong to put up a tree. There's trees all around us. It's trees. If you want to go cut down a tree and put in your house, who's to say? But we be so aggressive. And when I say we, I'm just talking about we as a people. We be so aggressive when people do things that we don't agree with, that it's like, if they do it, they wrong. I am moving away from that. So if I want to put up a tree, whether I believe it, symbolize him and his birth or whatever, that's me. Let me have my tree. And let me tell my kids, when we put these lights around this tree, we celebrating him being the light of the world. When we put this star up here, we gonna recognize that we can follow the stars and look at the stars because the wise men followed the star to find him. And I'm not going to be aggressively like, y'all don't need to be doing that because y'all don't need to be listening to this person, that person. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me.
I believe the exact same thing because I'm pretty sure that there's things where you and I are different or have different views, but neither one of us is looking like, oh, well, you wrong for that. It's just like whatever a person's beliefs is I'm okay with it. I just want to be in alignment with with God, people who believe what I believe and believe in God. And I also am like, I have an open mind. So I'm always open to learn new things because here's the thing for me, the things that I believe hit me to my core. It's not because someone else told me. You know, my shifts and everything and mindset shift because of my own understanding. And not from someone, someone else's. But I am not here to say, because I did come across a TikTok with B. Simone.
I saw it.
And the girl who stitched it, Jasmine, I follow her. I had to say that because I don't follow B. Simone.
I know. I saw both of them.
She was really aggressive, but that's also, I felt like that's how her personality is too. You know what I'm saying? I always felt that B. Simone gave that in your face type of thing. And I mean,
it's part of her entertainment.
It's a part of her thing. So I got that, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm okay if that's what she believes. I felt like I was coming always in a place of trying to defend my own beliefs.
And you ain't gotta do that.
And now I realize if I feel like I want to say something, I'm gonna say something, but it's not from a place of defending. It's a place of me elaborating on how I understand it. Because it don't even mean that I'm right.
Same with me. Same. I'm like,
because we say that all the time. Like, I don't know if it's right. I don't know, but this is what we think. I don't know.
And my thing is, we could be honest and say I don't know because he gonna give us clarity if it's not right. It just be like, I'm not about to come off aggressive on people. On what I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say,
because he talked to me on how he want me to do, and I just follow that. When I get anything else, I'm go ahead with that. But if that's what he telling you, then okay.
I'm like, so for the people who are like this and that, I'm like, you do you, and I'm gonna do what's meant to be for me, for my understanding, and I'm gonna ask him because I'm not gonna ask nobody else. Nobody else. And however long he takes to reveal that to me, next year I may not put up a tree. Next year may be like, no, I'm not being let to put up
because a tree. I don't know the context of it, but I know it's in the Bible about cutting down a tree, but I don't know the context of the whole story, parable, whatever we want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I stopped for different reasons, and we ain't got to get into that on this episode or ever. But again, even when I said I stopped in 2013, I still talked about how I done went back. And it still makes me feel some kind of way because at the end of the day, I know that I believe in Jesus. So even if it's pagan or whatever else, because there's some pagan stuff that I support, I ain't gonna lie. But it's like, if this is what we set aside in America to observe his birth, then it is what it is for right now. Maybe next year he gonna tell me, you gonna celebrate my birthday on Easter, and I'm gonna say, okay, who knows?
Because why can't we celebrate it on a different day? It's not a rule. It's not a rule to it. So I thank you for having this conversation with me, friend.
Listen, anytime you can catch me on Thursdays.
And I hope you're feeling better than how you was when we first got together.
I'm not. Oh, I'm cool. But I'm still like, dang, I got some information today that I didn't know I was expecting.
Well, I'm going to close, I with this being our last episode of the year, I just want to give words of encouragement to the people who are watching. A simple prayer that ask God that this is what my prayer is for us weekly when we get ready to do this. Lord, let me decrease so that you may increase in my life. Let our words be acceptable in your sight. Let someone be helped, healed, saved, and delivered like I am being. Um, we ask that you bless the people across the land, allow them to have what they need. Bless my friend, give her strength, give her peace of mind, allow her businesses to grow, allow her to come to one accord with each individual in her family, her friends, her son, her father, her sister. Bless all of them individually and collectively, as well as my family, my sister, my nephews, my son, my daughter, my father. Give us all peace and healing for this next year. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. And on that note, we will see you all next week.
I'm gonna add my future husband. We praying for you.